Okay, so hopefully this is working. Good day to you, my fellow adventurers throughout time and space. It is I, the Cowardly Time Lord, welcoming you back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 3. In today's episode, we shall be getting the life armor in the Desert of Death and then crossing it. And it is a live stream, so if anybody at all cares, they can watch and comment right there. I hope this video will not encounter any skipping issues that I have had on multiple occasions. I actually do nothing real quick. Did I remember to get the water at the end of last episode? Forgot. Did. Okay. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So I hope this goes off without a hitch. If anyone's watching right now, comment it in the chat thingy. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done live streaming. I just decided that this might be a good idea. I don't know. Also, your comments will give me something to work off to talk about. So, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. It's interesting that even though this is a live stream, I still have the ability to pause if needed. Which is good. Yeah, it's a little harder to do a live stream on videos, so I don't really know what to talk about. So, if anyone is currently watching, how's your day been? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is my first live stream in over a year, I would think. Yeah, probably. Easily my first live stream in over a year. Definitely yeah, it would be. This is my first live stream on this phone. I know that because I had to set all the stuff up beforehand, which was annoying. But yeah, I figured that Desert of Death would make for an alright live stream because, well, the irony of it. I should be live on YouTube right now. Hard to tell, considering I don't think anyone would be, like, have their notifications turned on and know for a fact that I am live streaming. So, if you are catching this by some miracle, like I said, please leave a comment, in the chat thing. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Throat's getting dry. You should have some water. Indeed. Yes, this Desert of Death segment is long and super fun. So, live stream just made sense to me, especially if I'm going for the secret treasure of the life armor. Because it's kind of hard to explain what you need to do to get the life armor without showing it all the way through. So sit back for a long video. 45 minutes in. I was just like clarifying for myself there. Feels more than 5 minutes. I actually feel a bit nervous when it comes to time to save at the end of this live stream. Like, will it have worked? I don't know. More importantly, if it does fail, will I be willing to re-record this as a video today? A simple answer to that, probably not. If this live stream fails, I will record a Legend of Dragoon video. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. It's not good. I just really don't know what to talk about at all. Because, there isn't a lot to talk about. Oh, I guess there is something I can talk about. I built the, one of the sets that arrived that I had ordered. That I'll be doing a review on pretty soon. The Twilight, you know, that ship from the Clone Wars. It's an interesting set, I really gotta say that. A couple interesting things about it, but right now, I just want to focus on this live stream. Zero comments. I can't check what my viewership is right now, which sucks. But if you are viewing this, well, so, I'm gonna keep saying that, but welcome. I hope you enjoy this. Yeah. This game is good. Even this point, which a lot of people consider a terrible, terrible, terrible point of the game. I think it's good. Like it's an interesting idea. It's just not executed well. And they didn't learn their lesson for Breath of Fire 4. They made something far more annoying in Breath of Fire 4. And you know what? I'll do that as a live stream when I get there in that game. Because I will play Breath of Fire 4 after I jump back and play Breath of Fire 2. And I'm also thinking after Legend Dragoon, I'm going to go back and play Final Fantasy 4. And then I'll do Final Fantasy 6 eventually. If you remember, I had a failed Final Fantasy 6 playthrough on my channel. I've never played Final Fantasy 3. It doesn't seem like my type of game, considering I absolutely hated Final Fantasy. Wow. Final Fantasy 5. I never played I never played Breath of Fire 5 on the PlayStation. It was a PlayStation 2 game. My PlayStation 2 has a nasty habit of chewing up discs, which is the reason I never beat Final Fantasy 12. I did get Final Fantasy 12 the Zodiac Age, but gave up on it because I couldn't, Zodiac Age is so different, and the fact that I can't access all magics and don't know, I don't enjoy job classes in the Final Fantasy series. Even though I know that's part of the main gimmick, the only one that I can accept is Final Fantasy 1. Which I thoroughly enjoy, as well as Final Fantasy 2, as you probably knew from my playthroughs on those. But I don't like the direction the job class system took, and I don't like Final Fantasy games as much because of the action time battle thing, the little bar, and it needs to fill up before your characters can take an action. I more enjoy turn-based combat like this, or Legend of Dragoon, or really any other number of fantastic RPGs. I don't like having to be super responsive with my combat. I'm a rather slow person, if you hadn't figured that out. I'm not very quick with really anything. So, I like taking my time with things, which is part of the reason why I'm live streaming this. This is such a boring live stream, I'm sorry. For anyone watching this, or watching the playback that will be on YouTube later. I don't think anyone's actually watching this right now. I don't know how I would tell that, but there's no comments, so no one said anything to me. I imagine if anyone said anything to me, it would be, "Boo, you suck," or something along those lines. But yeah, this is what the Desert of Death amounts to. Remember, this is going for the secret treasure, the life armor. I'm going to show you the cheating way to get across the Desert of Death, rather than going through this method again to get across it. Because I'll tell you what the method is for getting across the Desert of Death. When we reach the point where it would be time to do that, which is also the point where we have to go to get the life armor. But yeah, this part's at least got good music, not terrible. At least you have the stars to guide you. All things that the point that is very reminiscent of this in Breath of Fire 4 lack. No good music. The only good thing I can say about the moment in Breath of Fire 4 that is much like this Desert of Death is it's a reference to Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which that's the only good thing I can say about it. Which, I mean, you kind of always knew the Breath of Fire series took some amount of inspiration from Nausicaa. I'm sorry, it's one of the most obvious things, but Breath of Fire 4 is the most obvious with the fact that it took reference from it. I mean, there's a princess of the Wind Kingdom who lives in a giant windmill castle. Yeah. Nausicaa. And maybe I'm just insane, but no, very clearly Breath of Fire 4 definitely was making homages to Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Which is maybe my second or third favorite of the Studio Ghibli films. My favorite Studio Ghibli film is and will always be Porco Rosso. Yeah, this is going to be me going off on a lot of tangents as I try to keep this mediocre live stream somewhat entertaining. So I need to be talking constantly, rather than having moments of silence. Compared to my videos, where I have these long moments of silence. Ooh, yes we are. Ooh. Oh dear. I don't think that'll mess me up too much. If anything, I know how to fix that. Yeah. Like, one step off wouldn't make a big difference, I don't think, in this. But, better to be safe than sorry. So this is the point where Horus's instructions are wrong. It tells you how to get to the oasis. Do you want to read it? Yes. First, follow the North Star to the north. Then, when you can see the evening star directly to the west, head west. It's supposed to say head east. Keep going and west until you can no longer see the evening star. And then head north again. After walking north for 3 nights or so, you should be able to see the oasis. Yeah. But since it says head west, that is what we shall do. But what you're actually supposed to do is head east and keep on looking back at the evening star to make sure you didn't go too far. That should fix everything. And now we're walking this way to get the life armor instead of to cross the desert of death itself. Ooh, itchy hand. It's very difficult to keep my phone held up for this long. Oop, no. We're now only 18 minutes in, huh? I thought it would take longer than that. But then again, we're not to the treasure. We're just walking across the desert. We're 18 minutes in and I still have received no comments on the live chat. I don't even know if this is going up. It's been so long since I live streamed. I don't know if I'm doing this right at all. Yeah. This might be one of the worst things I've ever done for my channel. Quite possibly. Because this live stream is not going well. I really don't know what else to talk about. This is quite a large area with not a lot to talk about. Also, I must say I'm happy with how many swallow eyes I've been getting during walking through the desert of death. See, those 3 stars are coming close. So, as I said, those are the treasure stars. And the evening star is slowly moving upwards in the sky. Can't move that at all. Great, I have to do this the old-fashioned way. He keeps on... Yeah. Okay. But yeah. This is the way you get the life armor. Which, as you know, I already got for Ryu and Rei. Just need a third pair for Gar. And although Gar does have a technically better piece of armor, and Rei has a unique piece of armor that only he can equip, which is worse than the life armor, but you get the idea. It's something special. Called the Burglar's Garb, which increases his speed and weighs nothing, so... Meanwhile, Gar has a piece of armor that, of course, increases power. Another Swallow Eye. That's lucky. But yeah, so Rei has the Burglar's Garb, and, like, Gar gets, like, something called Gideon's Garb. Which are technically their best two pieces of armor, but I've never once gotten Gideon's Garb in this game. Neither have I gotten Rodolfo's Spear, I think it's called, which is one of Gar's best spears in the game. But, I get the Beast Spear, so I've never seen a reason to get Rodolfo's Spear. Though I do believe it casts Shield on the party, interestingly enough. Ugh. I always hate it when you get into a fighting field right before the time of changes from day to night, because it's easy to get confused what direction you were facing. 22 minutes into this live stream, and I still think nobody's watching it. I know I'm a small YouTube channel, but still. Somebody big live streaming right now. Some really famous YouTubers live streaming right now. And everyone's off watching them. Or are all my subscribers asleep or something? I don't know. It's the middle of the day for me. A little bit past, but, doesn't mean I'm not tired out of my mind. Yeah. My arms are shaking for whatever reason. Probably has something to do with the fact that I haven't eaten or had anything to drink at all today. I've been trying to eat a lot less, which probably wasn't a good idea because I already didn't eat a whole lot. I mean, I am by no means a skinny person, but I just, like, I'm, like, huge, but I don't eat much of anything, really, at all. So I don't know why I'm so big, other than the fact that I drink so much pop. And then when I was with my grandparents, who don't allow pop into their house ever, the reason I still continued to gain weight there was because they always eat big meals, forced me to eat everything on my plate, and always fed me dessert. And I know exercise is required, but I don't hate exercise. I hate being alone. Which, considering I have no one to exercise with, I don't do it very often. I have no friends. Nobody who really cares about me. Also can't get this weird feeling out of my mouth right now. Probably has something to do with what I ate for dinner last night. Making my mouth feel all weird. Well, considering the weird feeling in my mouth, it's kind of like a lemon taste, and a lot of the meal that I had last night had like it came with like lemon slices to put on top, like, you know, to squeeze out onto top of the food, which I didn't do because I don't really enjoy lemon slices on things. I do like a good slice of lemon in my water, though. It's kind of an odd thing, but yeah. Oh, I swear, my arms have not been this shaky since taking those drugs a couple years back. Medication a couple years back that my grandparents set me on. Mood balancers or stabilizers or something. Along with that in combination with a drug that with medication I was already taking, that was supposed to help me be able to focus on things rather than be so scatterbrained, caused me to experience a horrible side effect where I could barely hold a knife and fork. And I swear I'm just as shaky right now as I was back then. It's probably a really bad sign. Oh, I'm shaking like crazy. Oh, my hand feels all off. That's not good. Hello there, Andri Gazala. Gazala. Hello. Thank you for joining me while I play this game. I just decided to live stream this segment because I didn't know how else to do it. Hope you enjoy my commentary. Definitely put me in a bit more of a lively mood, didn't it? Yeah. Currently getting the life armor in the Desert of Death before doing the actual crossing of it. So, I hope you stick around and enjoy watching. Yeah. I don't know what to talk about. But yeah, this was always an interesting point in the game, I figured. I mean, sure, it's designed to slow it down and pad out the runtime, but it isn't a terrible mechanic at all, and it's decently fun. This whole game is fun, amazing. This is a low point, to be sure. Not as low as the well minigame from episodes past, that drawing the water from the well so you could get the vinegar. But yeah, that drawing the water from the well to get the vinegar that is truly the worst point in this game. This is barely a problem comparatively. Uh so I hope this live stream is going up well, no skipping issues. That's something I've had as an issue in the past where it just randomly skips over certain points and my voice is all choppy. That's the reason I was so nervous about live streaming again, but obviously I can't tell if there's anything wrong on my end. Should almost be there. The evening stars near the top of the screen, so the life armor should be appearing soon. And interestingly enough, the life armor has a unique sprite to it when you find it in the Desert of Death. Because it actually appears on the battle screen as, well, a suit of armor, just sitting on the desert floor. So it's really cool to see if you get it. Sadly, we're not there yet. Yeah, this game is old, but it holds a special place in my heart. I mean, one of the very first games that I played. I remember back in the day, it was actually a funny thing. Used to have these things where I would play this game with my mother, and we would do sort of like races to see who could get through the game faster. Our disc is old and scratched, but I can still play it on my PlayStation, and I love to do that. And I'm only using an emulator because of the fact that, yeah, Were-Tiger form for Ray. I do use it occasionally. It's just, it is one of the most double-edged swords ability in video gaming I've ever seen. Where like I do like the extra power it gives, but the confusion status it instills is annoying. That's, of course, there's the easy way to counteract that with influence, which I do use, but I wouldn't use that in, say, the final boss fight, especially because by that point Ray has really come into his own as a powerful character. I mean, already looking at his stats, I've built him up really well, and soon enough I'll be getting his ultimate weapon, and from there he's dealing a really good amount of damage, and if I ever want to boost his power up more, I can just go back and fight those hobgoblins. There it is, the life armor. Look at that. Well, you can't look at it now, I'm in a battle. Yeah, let's just auto battle to get through this real quick. But there it is, the life armor. I always thought it was. I always find it so interesting that they put such detail into that when this is the only point in the game you ever get to see it. Ooh, and another swallow eye. Well, that's not what I meant to do. But look at that. Is that not just like it's a really good sprite in the game. And you only get to see it here. So, we found the life armor. And since Ray and Ryu already have it from the fishing, Gar gets the final life armor I shall be getting in this playthrough. I'm still keeping the Cupid's Lyre on him for now because it's helpful. Especially with the Beast Spear, which drains hit points. So, this kind of marks the halfway point in the live stream, I suppose. Yeah. Does everyone have... Phew, let me rest for just a minute.
Is this God's way of saying that we are not supposed to meet with a god?
Yeah, this is slightly different dialogue, I think. Pissou, pissou, pissou. It looks like he's having trouble sleeping. Maybe the heat's bothering him? Ryu, shouldn't we wait until daylight to make camp? Yeah, exactly. This game's art style is amazing, and I just wish more stuff like this was this art style. We'd better not walk during the day, Ryu. Yeah. So we're using the Rakta to return to base camp. Yes, return. Yes, return. Let's go. Using its homing instincts, the Rakta returns to base camp. Indeed. Yes. So you're back, are you? Blah, blah, yeah. Well, there's no need to hurry. Take your time and get used to the desert. Thank you very much. Don't forget to fill up your canteen before you go. Water jug's full of water. Make sure you take some with you. You'll need it. No, I didn't want to bout water. I wanted to get water. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the warning I gave in the last video about the water in the water jug. So let's get 16 servings of water for the official crossing of the Desert of Death in my playthrough. There will be one more time when I go into the desert, and that is to get the Raptor Claws for Peko. Another secret item. I won't be getting the Royal Sword, however, as I already got it through fishing. And I've just never been able to find the Royal Sword in the Desert of Death. And while I don't know if the Royal Sword has a similar kind of unique appearance to it as the life armor did, or if it just reuses the other time we see a sword lying out on a battlefield that was all the way back at McNeil Manor with the broadsword, which is very well hidden. But so it would be nice to see that in a more open visual representation. But you can go, if you want to, you can go search up the Royal Sword, because it's a bit more difficult to find. To put it plain and simple. Yeah. Favorite master in this game. I like Gyatto for the HP and AP bonuses, but my favorite master has got to be Delonzo for that accuracy up. That accuracy up property is the reason why I like Delonzo as a master. And I'm currently using Ray under Deus. I'm doing a full master run of the game. I've already maxed out, like, every master besides the ones that Gar, Ray, and Ryu are under. Which, as you can see, are Ladon, Deus, and Ematai. And Gar being under Ematai, I know, it's such a weird idea. But the AP is worth it. Yeah. Delonzo is perfect for Ray, I will fully admit. But I just like using Delonzo for the accuracy up, because it's not like every level their accuracy goes up a bit more. It's a permanent buff as far as I can tell. And considering how low certain characters' accuracy is, I find that to be one of the best things to possibly use for a master. Yeah. I have reasons for using every master when I do. And I basically developed my own strategy for this game about when to switch masters and which masters to switch out for who at what points during the game. So basically Ryu is never leveling up without being mastered under a master to get abilities. That's the way I play this game. Which is kind of a clever way of going about it. Yeah, still don't know what possessed the creators of this game to give the Magmites and the Vulcans such giant rocky asses. It's just weird. But yeah, if you never knew, you just walk between the real North Star and the fake North Star to get across the Desert of Death. Real simple, real quick, real easy. I forget where I even learned that. Probably in some other YouTuber's video. Yeah, exactly. You like having Gar being able to use Kairi all the time. That is useful. Of course, I also give Ray the Kairi that you can learn. But yeah, having Gar being able to cast Kairi and Inferno a lot. Shadow, and like with other abilities I give him, like War Shout and Shadow Walk. Those, it's perfect to have him have the extra AP. Especially with the Spirit Ring equipped, which will happen later. Yeah. I also will give Cure to Gar eventually. It's just on Ryu right now because, if you recall last episode, Ryu is just the one who managed to learn that ability by, examining the Drac enemy after unparalyzing it. Sun has risen. Walking during the day. Yes, I do use the Tiamat form. It is a powerful form and one of my more light transformations just because of how cheap it is in terms of AP cost. But if you I did a whole video where I went over the unique transformations. Well, a couple of them. It's actually spread across 2 videos. But yeah, I did all the unique dragon forms. I'll show that off in the next fighting field if just because we'll show it off again. But yes, after this live stream you is currently watching, feel free to go back and watch my playthrough. It's decent. But yeah, actually, this might be a fight where going into dragon form isn't a bad idea. So why not? I'll show off the Tiamat form again. Let's see. Bast over here. Kaiser, Tiamat, Mydron, Pygmy, Wildfire, Trigon, Mammoth. Oh, so the Mammoth was the last one I did. Yeah, I'll go into Tiamat form because this fight just doesn't look fun to fight in a normal fashion. So I'll just use it real quick. Yeah, Tiamat! But yeah, the dragon form I'll be using against the boss fight at the end of the desert is not going to be the Tiamat form. I've been debating it, but no, I'll use my favorite form for fighting that boss, which is the Mammoth form. But I won't lie, that is so satisfying. Oh, right, poison. Yes, the power of Tiamat. Also, I don't think I ever mentioned this earlier during my playthrough, but I am going for... I will probably end up being a bonus episode after I beat the final boss, but I am going for everyone's best armor, including the Goo King sword. No matter how much it makes me want to pull my hair out. Makes me want... Yeah, ugh. How much it makes me want to pull my hair out, because... Yeah. I mean, I'll make the comparison, I will, that a lot of people make. Getting the Goo King sword should be just as difficult as getting the Sword of Kings in Earthbound. But getting the Goo King sword in this game is far, far more difficult. Making a sword, the most powerful sword in a game, drop from one enemy is fine. Putting the enemy in a difficult-ish location is fine. I have gotten the Goo King sword previously as well. It's not an issue of that. It's just the time it takes. Especially considering that's not the only extremely rare piece of armor I'm going after. I'm going after stuff like the Divine Helm, the Dragon Fang. What else is there? Dragon Helm, Divine Fang, Diana's Dress, Mist Armor. That stuff is what makes trying to get the best armor in this game really annoying. Ray has gotta be the easiest one to get the ultimate armor stuff for. I mean, his ultimate weapon is a guaranteed drop off a really tough enemy, to be fair, but it's a guaranteed drop. So, not that difficult. His best armor, he's already got it. His best helm, okay, that's the Divine Helm. A little bit difficult. But not overly impossible. The best shield being the Ares gloves. Well, that's actually really easy to get if you know what you're doing and have the correct equipment to be able to survive against the Berserker for more than one turn. Yeah, if you can survive against the Berserker, steal the Ares gloves easily enough, that's the best shield for every character. So, it really made it easy. And then I might even do another bonus episode after that of just doing more stuff with the fishing minigame. Mostly to get because get the biggest type of each fish. Go back to that one guy and he'll give you stuff. The ding frogs, the master rod, and the fountain pen. Which I've never gotten the fountain pen as an item from that weird fisher guy in the Urkin region that it will give it to you if you max out the fishing points. I came close in one playthrough. Very close. I don't know what fish I was missing the largest side of. Yeah, I do like the plot of Breath of Fire 3. It's pretty good. As people will say, the first part of the game with Balio and Sunder, the plot is really strong there. And then once it gets into the adult section, the plot drops. And it's just like, continue across these impossible locations to get to God. Which, to be fair, yeah, that's what the adult section is. But it's not terrible. And as a follow-up to what happened, I've never played Breath of Fire 2, but I'm assuming Breath of Fire 2... I know this game follows up well from Breath of Fire 1. And I know Breath of Fire 2 follows up well from Breath of Fire 1 as well. So, I'll just assume that this is also a good follow-up to Breath of Fire 2. Never played it. Yeah, exactly. This game is really long, and I enjoy that. I miss these old, long, turn-based RPGs that were for the story. For this, whereas a lot of newer games get lost. Which is why I so enjoyed playing through Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. That brought back the kind of storytelling, the kind of adventure that these old games had without being too... yeah. I don't know. Also, there's just the fact of a lot of the times when I play like newer games with really high-end graphics, it hurts my eyes. It's just a problem I've had, and I don't know why exactly. I guess it has to do with the vibrancy of colors or something. I don't know. I mean, my glasses are tinted, so usually everything looks darker, so there's that when I'm outside in real life, so I'm just gonna go with vibrancy of colors. Didn't have so much of a problem with, Dragon Quest game I just mentioned, but, yeah. I don't know, that's just what it's like for me. Uh-huh. And I mean, I get it, that not everyone enjoys these games where it's just like, you can press 2 buttons and sit back and watch the fight play out. I really, truly do not like Breath of Fire 4 as much. I've played through it, I will play through it on this channel, but it's not as good. It misses out on a few key elements. If the Master System had been more like Breath of Fire 3, if the world exploration had been more like Breath of Fire 3, Breath of Fire 4 could have been a great game. If the formation system had returned in Breath of Fire 4, it could have been great. And Breath of Fire 4 does do a few things better than Breath of Fire 3 does. So... where do the problems come from? Well, they upgraded a lot of things for Breath of Fire 4. Can't argue with that. But they tried too hard. Another big thing that I would wish was more like Breath of Fire 3 and that is in Breath of Fire 4 is when it comes to the fishing minigame. They totally changed that. They totally did, and it bugs me to no end how much the fishing minigame has changed. Because Breath of Fire 3's fishing minigame, I love it. It's one of my favorite things to return to when I play this game, even though it does take a while. But Breath of Fire 4 made it too involved. Which is something that I think a lot of games do. I know it sounds weird. How can you make a game too involved? I don't know. It just like you actually need to watch out for hazards in the water when fishing in Breath of Fire 4. You need to be careful of where you cast your line. Yeah, that is another thing. Breath of Fire 4 doesn't have atmosphere like this game does. It has like that nice aesthetic that it was going for of the whole like the areas in Breath of Fire 4 that belong to the Empire. Those are brilliantly designed areas and like look beautiful. But this game has much more varied locations and just has this amazing side to it. Ow. But yeah, this game is much closer to my I just like enjoy this game far more than Breath of Fire 4. And then, there's Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter. I've never played it. Never cared to. PS2 games are not my favorite. Yeah, just how I feel. PS2 games weren't the best. The few that I played. Of course, like I said earlier in the live stream, my PlayStation 2, I still have it, but every disc I've put into it got scratched to hell. And I've, tried cleaning it and everything. Doesn't matter, all my discs get scratched. I believe somebody suggested it to me or something about turning it upside down while I play it, and I was like, that actually makes sense. But I just never bothered to dig out my PS2 and try it again. Didn't get very many games for it. I actually remember how I got my PS2. It was part of a promotional deal with our cell phone service provider. So that's how I got my PS2. I actually got my PS3 the same way, through a promotional deal with the cell phone provider. That was funny. Oh, over an hour into this live stream. I couldn't have made this an interesting video. I would have had to cut it down and all sorts of other things. So, live streaming is the way I saw to do this point in the game. I saw this as a perfect opportunity to live stream again, and I was definitely right by the looks of things. Also, I know this whole time, because I'm playing on an emulator, I could have gone and sped it up. I know that. I found that out while filming my most recent video on this game. I realized it while filming that video, so why haven't I gone back to doing that? Because the whole point of doing this as a live stream is so I can take it nice and slow and talk with people. I've never done a speed run of this game. I am not a speed runner. I think I've mentioned this before in a video somewhere, but I am much more of a completionist when it comes to playing games, but I've never done an actual speed run. Yeah. I could easily do one. I mean, I know a lot about this game, but there are certain moments that would definitely take a long time if I were to speed run this game. Such as that well. That stupid well, where you have to use Gar to pull the water out of the well to get the vinegar to make the shishu. The tug of war minigame would be another point that slows down a speedrun for me, because I'm not very good at tapping the X button. I know, how hard could tapping the X button be, you would say? Well, it's not that difficult. I just don't enjoy... I have trouble tapping it really quickly. Which is what that minigame is all about. Anyways, we should be approaching the end of the Desert of Death by now, I would think. We should be really close to the end of the Desert of Death, I would think, by now. Also, can I just say how many Swallow Eyes I've gotten? I know I still had, like, one in my inventory before getting to this point, but I've gotten, like, at least 7 in this video alone. Live stream. So used to saying video. Yeah. The stars have disappeared. I'm just going to assume that I'm facing the right direction. I'm just going to assume I was facing the right direction there, because that message didn't pop up, and I would rather not go through the whole process of that. So, rest. Yeah. But yeah, we should almost be at the Oasis. The video will end as soon as I can save after the Oasis. The live stream will end. See? Video, I'm so used to saying it. But yeah, because of how much water we have left in the water jug, and my memories from previous playthroughs, yeah, this should be very, very close to the end. And also the fact that the fake North Star and the North Star are almost at a level height. That is another hint. If you go through the method of walking directly between the North Star and the fake North Star, that is one of the key tells. I am from Canada, British Columbia, Canada. And you're very much welcome. I hope you subscribe to the channel and continue watching some of my videos. It was very much fun having you here, and just having somebody actually messaging me while I play this game. Gave me stuff to talk about. Still love how it says vodka shot. Because if you know, the most versions of this game say ginseng when you pick up the item that boosts power temporarily in battle. Well, on this emulator, it says vodka shot, which I'm told was the true translation of what the item was in the Japanese version, I think. Yeah, it became ginseng because of the rating system or something. Also, I really love the music in this game. Even this track, which I've had to listen to for so many hours. Already an hour in this video alone. I just enjoy it. Sorry, I don't have much to say after, how long? An hour and 12 minutes of talking. I just don't have much to say at this point, right? And that makes sense. I was expecting the boss battle. Also, what is a Drac? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a Drake. Yeah, Cedar Forest. That's that. Yes, like a lot of music in this game is good, and that's another thing. Old video games have some of the best music. I'm serious. Just some old games have amazing music. It just blows me away that newer games can't, just don't have music like this. Like, occasionally, okay, yes, a newer video game will have one amazing piece of music in it. But it's so rare that I would even think about, like, sitting down and listening to a soundtrack of a modern video game. Maybe that's just the old person in me talking, but that's just how I feel. Never played the Castlevania games or Metroid. I've never been huge into platforming games. I should give them a try someday. I'm not arguing against that. Just not what I've enjoyed. I am a true fan of turn-based JRPGs. Stuff like this, Legend Dragoon, Wild Arms, Lunar, Silver Star Story Complete. Why not throw Grandia on there? Grandia is a bit of a hit or miss with me. It's a game that I've played through many times just to figure out what makes me dislike it. that is the thing about me and my relationship with the game Grandia. I mean, everything about it makes me think I should really, really enjoy playing it. It's got funny characters, laughably bad voice acting. I guess it's because it's one that I had on my shelf for years. Ooh, I don't want to save yet. It's not time to end the video. I only save when I'm ending videos. No, I've never played Vanguard Bandits. Never even heard of it. But yeah, Grandia, the biggest thing I can say about possible reasons why I dislike Grandia so much, the most petty reason I could come up with in my mind when I thought about Grandia and why I might not like it is because of the main character's name. The main character in Grandia, if you've never played it, his name is Justin. Justin is my least favorite name ever. And there is a reason for that. It's because so often throughout my life, when I tell people my name, my real first name, they mishear it and repeat it back to me saying, "Oh, you're Justin." No, my name is not Justin. It's Dustin. With a D, not a J. So playing an entire game that has laughably bad voice acting and just hearing everyone around the main character, of course, saying the main character's first name causes me annoyance. Yeah. It is kind of funny. But yeah, that is the most petty reason I could come up with why I don't like Grandia. But I have watched reviews of Grandia that have gone over some of the lower points. And, okay, yeah, all those points pretty much could equally be a part of why Grandia just isn't my favorite JRPG. But it has its moments, and even though I personally don't like Grandia as much as most JRPGs that I've played, I think it is one that is worth playing. I don't have to think a game is amazing to say it's worth playing. And that's another thing that I think people have forgotten. It's games don't have to be perfect masterpieces. Some more memorable games weren't masterpieces. They have their issues. They're fairly obvious, blatant, easy to point out issues. That doesn't make them terrible. Yeah. Yeah, games like this, like I said, they were my childhood. I grew up playing on the PlayStation 1. It was just, that was the system that I played on since my earliest memories of video games. I mean, I also had a SNES, but SNES, but that was mostly reserved for playing A Link to the Past on, which I thoroughly I thoroughly enjoyed playing, but like the earliest game that I truly remember playing was Spyro 3: Year of the Dragon on my PlayStation 1. I even remember when my mom used to work at an office building that one day she just couldn't find anyone to look after me, so she brought me so she brought me she brought me with her to her office with the PlayStation 1, and I got to play in on the boardroom TV with my PlayStation 1, which was insane little memory I had. Are we there yet? And here we are at the end of the Desert of Death with the boss fight. That's no hill.
Maybe we can see something if we climb that hill.
Yeah, the end of the Desert of Death is finally upon us. There's quite a few more scenes to go through before I can save and end off the video, end off the live stream, but I'm fine with that. Okay, Ray, you know what? Since you're gonna go first anyways, you might as well. But I am going for not Tiamat, but the Mammoth. I know Gar won't be able to get this off, but might as well. Oh, that might ruin my plans. Oh, no. Oh, that worked perfectly. But there's the Mammoth. The Golden Behemoth. With its Meteor Strike ability. Which just melts this boss. Just this easy. One more, I think, and it should go down. If not this one, then the next one. Okay. I know this boss can't have much more health. Exactly. Oh, you're focusing? Take another meteor. And a power food. And now here comes another scene. So time for more reading.
The heat must have been too much for her.
Who can blame her? Having to fight that monster after walking for so many days? I'm sorry, Ryu. We're so close.
We won't be able to go any further with her in that condition.
Yes, we have reached the goal.
What should we do, Ryu?
Can I ask? No, I can't ask my other party members. I'm pretty sure they're still confused. How bad is she? The princess. Right. And we were so close, too. I suppose we could just use the Rakta and start over. I mean, we know the way by now, right? We didn't even use the way. We walked between the stars. The do it the fast way. Of course, if you come over and examine the Raktas, strong, sturdy, and able to live in the desert, they can take anyone lost back to base camp. But Raktas have another talent as well. I missed. Apparently I wasn't standing just right to do it. Yes, you have to slaughter the poor Rakta. Yes, Nina is... The meat of the Rakta has water and other nutrients that can resuscitate a person suffering from heat stroke. You got the Rakta meat. So, you killed the Rakta, huh? We won't be able to get back now. I'm impressed, Ryu. I didn't think you had it in you. Well, hurry up and get that meat to the princess. Don't worry. We'll make it. We're not gonna die in a place like this. Not as long as you're around, at least. With the sacrifice of the Rakta's life, Ryu is able to save Nina's. Helping the weakened Nina, the party makes their way to the oasis. Daddy, come quickly. There's some people who need help. I figured they'd have an accent. I don't know. Like, I pull accents out of nowhere sometimes. Be at calm. Your lady friend is caring for by my wife. Please, until you are being fully rested, we want you to stay and having our good hospitality. Are you sure you should be up? It's all right. I'm fine now. I'm sorry I worried everyone so much. What is Ryu and everyone else doing? They're over there, talking to the chief, about where we're headed. God? I am regrettable, but I know not of this that you seek.
Honorable Fa, do you know of any ruins or something similar nearby?
Ruins? ruins it is you are looking for, then we are having. To the north, over the hill, there is being a place very old that we are calling Career Exam. It is the ruins of a very, very olden city.
We should go check it out.
You've done so much for us. Thank you for everything. It's all right. Since the desert gives us so little, we share what we have with each other. Momo looking on with jealousy, maybe? That's what it seemed to me always. Nina's up and awake. She says she's fine. Ah, so this is meaning you are leaving then, yes? Thank you so much for all you've done for us, Fa. It is being no bother. I am hoping that you find soon that what you are seeking. Please choose 3 party members. Indeed. I knew it would boot me out of defensive formation. Nothing. Coming. Might as well get more water so I don't forget to later. I've made that mistake before because I will be going back out into the desert to get the raptor claws, as I said, just not in today's live stream. I think I've done enough for one day. Anyways, if you were wondering how you're supposed to figure out about the life armor, the royal sword, the speed boots, and the everything else, and everything that is hidden in the desert. Once, long ago, I went out into the desert on a trip. Let me tell you about what happened when I got lost. I left the oasis and headed for a place called the factory. I walked south for about a night and got lost. I ended up heading west. After about 4 nights, I realized my mistake. Around that time, I lost something really important. That is the royal sword. Once long ago, I went out into the desert on a trip. Let me tell you about what happened when I went the wrong way. When I was coming back here from the factory, I got turned around and went west when I should have gone east. That was the life armor we picked up earlier. This live stream, yeah. I bet the nice outfit I lost is buried under the sands by now. No, it wasn't. It was sitting on top of them. But the final one is the most interesting hint of them all. If you just say, not interested, thanks. When I was a lot younger, I remember I wanted to see what the edge of the desert looked like. So I headed out to the east and to the west. I remember there were 3 stars in a row right above my head when I realized that I would never find the end of the desert. See, that's why I call those 3 stars the treasure stars. They will guide you to the second 2 hidden treasures. One of them I picked up in the last episode, and one I'll pick up at some later time. I just don't feel like it right now. So anyways, I think this is where this live stream shall come. Oop, characters to talk to. But yes, live stream is ending in the next couple minutes. Pussu. Career exam. Oh, no.
Career exam. Could it be where God once dwelt?
Yes, that's entirely possible, Gar. I always thought that nothing could survive in a desert. But the people at the oasis seem to be doing pretty well. I guess with a little luck, you might even be able to live out here in the desert. Tina? Everyone said it couldn't be done, but we did it. We crossed the ocean and we crossed the desert. I knew we'd make it. Anyways, this looks like a good place to end off for today's episode. So this is the Cowardly Time Lord signing off and saying, have a good day, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Bye-bye now.